Hello, friends. So, what we call awakening is really the end of needing to know why. It's the end of definition, it's the end of explanation, it's the end of the need to know who you are. Because the one who wants to know this and grasp it and understand it is the person, it's the story, it's the dream. You can't grasp this. We're pointing to no thing, we're pointing to ether, we're pointing to that which cannot be defined or boxed. You see? But in dreamland, in personhood, there always has to be a label and a definition of what you are, because that's a safe zone. That is a comfort zone to know who you are, and where you are going. But it's also a shackle, you see. And when it's recognized that you are formlessness appearing as form, the person never recognizes this. It's always formlessness that recognizes itself. Then you cannot be shackled. You cannot be bound, confined, or defined. Because how do you shackle nothing? How do you shackle vapor? You cannot. You cannot. So the only thing that feels threatened in this world is the person, is the mind, because the mind is the world. And so, like anything in creation, so to speak, it's going to fight for its survival. But it can't survive. It's a dream. But it fights too, in the form of control, manipulation. I've got to get this. I don't understand this mentally. Your organic nature, the natural reality, is not intellectual. You could say the intellectual faculties appear in that which you are. It's an appearance. The brain, the mind, the body, everything is an appearance of ether. Every moment is the origin story, so to speak. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. There's no source outside of you, no God outside of you controlling you, judging you. Oh my goodness, no. Oh my goodness, no. But this energy that we do call God or the beloved is so free, so wild, so untamed, it'll appear as a person that's contracted looking for itself. It will appear as a questioner of, I need to get this. What's wrong with me? I want to feel better. It's all subtle manifestations of the one who's trying to control and feel safe and feel secure. We're talking about the rawness of life. And that's why I'm always in nature, so we can really absorb this. Nature has death and life simultaneously. Some of these trees I'm looking at are dead on one side and full bloom on the other. There's no judgment there, though, you see? But for the personal identity, it's half alive. It pushes away death and clings to that which it labels life. But you see, this is death and life simultaneously. Awakening is the death of the person within the body vehicle, so to speak, within the dream. Not dying when the body dies, but dying while the body, boom, 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 is still pumping blood. But this death I speak of is not even really a death, because that which we call ego, mind, or separation doesn't exist. It could collapse right now, so to speak. It could dissolve right now, just like waking up from a dream, because it's not real. So many beings and teachers will confirm to you, you are separate. You've got a checklist of things to do to enter heaven. You've got karma. No one can define you. No one can tell you what this is, There's only pointings. This is the one thing, so to speak, that can't be taught because it's not a thing. It's a no-thing thinging, it's a paradox totally. And the person's not comfortable with that. The is and it isn't. The real and the unreal simultaneously. Form and formlessness. There's nothing for you to do because there's no separate you to do it. So the struggle and the strife is that contracted energy and belief that I have free will and responsibility. I've got to make this choice. I've got to do something. And even if that appears and is appearing right now, so to speak, it's just what's happening. It's not right and it's not wrong. It's the beloved looking for itself. It's isness playing hide and seek with itself. And that chase can pop right now. There's no rules to this. There's no steps. There's no processes. But if we're in our mind, so to speak, oh, there's totally processes. Lots of spiritual gymnastics. Why? Because the conditioning of the human psyche is deeply insecure and unworthy. The real is naturally confident. The real is unshakable. The real cannot be touched because it's not informed, so to speak. Because this is vibrating ether. It may feel solid. It's an appearance. It is an illusion. And so none of this is logical. It makes no sense. It sounds wacky, wacky, wacky. Only when isness itself, so to speak, when no thing itself recognizes this. All of the worries, all of the contradictions and the paradoxes, it just... It settles, because who cares? There's no one here to care anymore. There's no one here to bicker and complain and wonder, well, who's right, who's wrong, what's the ultimate truth? It just... It dissolves when the person dissolves. And again, the person isn't really there, so the dissolution, so to speak, is also an appearance. And it's seen through that the whole story, the whole evolution, the whole getting up to this point, all the work, it didn't even happen. As real as your dream at night. And again, this cannot be understood by the mind because the mind is in time. What we're speaking from, so to speak, is not in time. So that's why logic can't help you here. Now, if you're doing your taxes, go for it, man. Logic is your helper. Not when we're talking about the natural reality of what is wholeness. There is no higher reality. There is no lower reality. Higher and lower is for the knower in dreamland. It's a mirage. There is only this, and the belief in higher and lower pulls you out of this, so to speak, which is also just an illusion because you can't be pulled out of this. But it seems like you get pulled out of this. This is totality. But there's a belief that you're not it, that this is not it, and that's okay. That's being, believing, I'm not it. That's being, believing, I need to go find myself. So what? That's just what's appearing. But as we talk about this, as you hear this, so to speak, that contraction of, oh my God, I've got to figure this out, can start to loosen and wiggle. And then all of a sudden you're dancing to a beat that no one hears but you. No one else needs to hear this beat. And the person will never hear this beat. You feel me? What's looking through your eyes is the divine. What's hearing this is the divine. There is only the divine that appears as all. You cannot escape yourself. You cannot escape what is. But what we're all truly looking for is the absence of the personal story. And again, that can end in a blink of an eye because it's not really there. I can't teach this. I can't share this. How do you share that which you already are? How do you teach that which you already are? I can only confirm that, reflect that. You've never left home. Only in thought, only in imagination can you seem to step out of the Garden of Eden. But again, that is an illusion. It is merely an appearance of no thing. Much love. Namaste.